What do successful people tell you when asked about their secret? Willpower, hard work, restraint. Look at this warplane from World War II. Later in the video, we will see how they reveal the biggest secret of what successful people don't tell us. Get ready for this super adventure. Instead of being super serious, success can also be about being yourself and having fun. From a very young age, everywhere around me, people were talking about restraint, self-control, willpower to be successful and happy in life. The narrative was clear. Successful people possess extraordinary self-control. As I grew older, I tried to put in willpower into all the habits which I wanted to enhance in life. But the struggle was real. It was draining and very stressful. That made me begin to question this approach. Looking back, I have come to this profound realization that self-control is draining. Willpower, which may look very effective in the beginning, but it starts putting tremendous load on your energy levels. Discipline, which is often flaunted or showed on the front end as the reason for success, hides a lot of the nuances and the real secrets in the back end. Let us look at this very interesting study. Two groups were asked to come into a room, and it was smelling very nice in that room because there were freshly baked cookies kept on the table, and on the other side of the table there were radishes. Now these two groups were given instructions. Of course, the group A was asked to eat the cookies, which was good. They should not focus on the radish, they should only eat cookies. The other group, group B, was asked to eat only radish, and they cannot eat the cookies. They have to show their willpower. Fortunately or unfortunately, another researchers came in that same college, and they wanted to conduct another study on the willingness of students to learn and find the energy level of the students as they learn. And they used the same two groups because they were easily available in the same room. So what they did was they gave some drawings, and the request or the condition was not to lift their pens or pencils while doing the drawing, and there was a lot of creativity required. At the same time, they were kind of required to do it with a lot of constraints and patience and perseverance. Both groups started on time. The group A, which were supposed to eat the radish, they completed 9 drawings and they got exhausted in 10 minutes. They were completely done. Whereas the other group, the one which had got cookies to eat, they managed to do 20 drawings and they were not exhausted for 20 minutes or more, in fact. So they were willing to do it and they were full of energy. So what does this study show? This study shows that self-control, willpower has a limit. After some time, you run out of self-control. What happens here is, it is like someone is observing you throughout. And when you are doing work under observation, you might have seen that in real life also, when someone is continuously judging, evaluating, observing and looking at you and giving kind of critical feedback to you, you are exhausted because you don't want to do under that pressure. You don't find freedom. You don't find fun in doing things. Let's say you have taken up the project of reducing sugar intake in your diet. Now, this is the time when you really need the creativity and innovation to come up with new ideas to make sure that you eat good things which you enjoy. But because of your self-control and willpower constraint, you have also lost your creativity energy. So you will not come up with a very interesting dish, something like this, which is without sugar, using millets, yet can act as a good dessert. But because you are fully stressed and you are already using that level of self-control for a longer time, after a few days you will give up and then you start eating like never before. If this is the case, then why do we run behind the qualities mentioned by the successful people to be successful in life? To understand this better, we have to go back to World War II. Now look at this image. You can see the bullet marks on the aeroplane. Now these were the bullet marks seen on the aeroplanes which returned from the war zone in the US base. They decided to put a double armor, kind of a double protection on these areas so that they get extra protection. Now here a statistician by name Abraham Wald came into picture, and before they took this decision of putting the double coating, he gave a very disruptive solution, and he said, you are focusing on the wrong thing. You are focusing on the aeroplanes which have returned. You are missing the point of looking at the aeroplanes which did not return, and they have got hit in the places which you can't see in this image, or the marks which you can't see here. Therefore, you should give a double armor to the places where the bullet marks are not seen. Same way in our life, the unseen remains unseen, and we focus on the things which we think are the solution, but it is not. This is called survivorship bias. We focus on the things which have survived, which have become successful. That's why when you take interviews of people who are successful, you are missing a lot of things. You are focusing on the areas where the bullets are seen. You are not seeing the areas where the bullets are not seen because the aeroplanes have not returned in the first place. So by focusing on the stories of only those successful people and not focusing on the stories of those people who failed in spite of doing the same thing which these successful people did, it distorts our perspective. Success isn't a mere product of discipline. It's acknowledging our personal passion, our willingness to do things in a more meaningful way. We need to shift the narrative from discipline to authenticity, from stress to happiness. Look at this quote from Novak. I can carry on playing at this level because I like hitting the tennis ball, he says simply. Are there players who don't? I ask. Oh yes, there are people out there who don't have the right motivation. You don't need to talk to them. I can see it. But I don't judge. I completely respect everybody's freedom of choice. If it works for them, our uniqueness, our particularities can drive us towards success more effectively than the rigid self-control. It is about re-evaluating our approach, finding what truly motivates us, and channeling our passions into our pursuits. So next time when you are looking for success, remember that it is not about suppressing who you are. Rather, it is about flourishing your real self. I wish you a very happy journey to authentic success. And be generous. Share this video with the people in your life. Keep rocking.